Said one of the biggest changes they've noticed year to year is the amount of families who really need help. In June of 2019, they were responding to the Memorial Day tornadoes, but there was an increase to June of 2020 when they were working to help families affected by COVID-19.
So this pandemic really impacts a number of individuals. You know, the swath of folks in need is larger, certainly.
Truesdale said they are starting to see the number of families in need stabilize, but there are still people who need help affording things like fresh produce. If you couldn't make it out to the distribution today, or you were not able to get food due to the storm, you can visit the food bank on Armour Place in Dayton on Monday. In Fairborn, Kayla Cravell, News Center 7.
And as you heard Kayla mention, there were some storms around the Miami Valley. There was a line in particular that came through late afternoon, early evening, and that gave way to some interesting clouds. Here's a nice photo that was sent in from Barb over on Twitter. This is in the Centerville area of mammatus clouds, and you typically see a mammatus cloud form when there is an updraft that quickly cools and starts to sink really quickly in the cloud, and it gives you that lumpy appearance. So thank you so much for sending in that photo. Quieter conditions now across the Miami Valley as we scan the skies. The rain and thunderstorms that moved through during the afternoon and early evening are now settling out of the Miami Valley, pushing into northeastern Kentucky and south central parts of Ohio. In replacing it is some clearer conditions as we move into the rest of tonight. Now, we really did need the rain, and that line brought some of it. Notice we had a couple of pockets of downpours over the past 12 hours, one of which in the Clark County area and southwestern Montgomery County, where we had about an inch to an inch and a half of rain. And I just told you we need the rain, and that's because the latest drought monitor came out today, and we have seen the abnormally dry conditions expanding into a moderate drought in more locations throughout the Miami Valley, especially in areas east of Interstate 75. Now, we did have some rain over the past couple of days. This data is from Tuesday morning. The map gets published on Thursday. That being said, really to bust out of this drought, we need frequent days of rainfall and not necessarily 1 or 2 days with a lot of rain. It'll help, but it won't necessarily break us out of the drought. When we look at our rain and storm chances into the weekend, we have very low chances. In fact, Saturday and Sunday we may be completely dry. Friday, tomorrow afternoon, a few sprinkles may be bubbling up in the heat of the day, but not enough to really do any type of impact on that drought. One thing we will watch out for early tomorrow is the development of some fog that will give way to more sunshine by mid-morning. Then as we get into the afternoon on Futurecast, notice there are a few of those downpours around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. As we get closer to dinner time, we're going to look at some clearing conditions, and that'll be good conditions for you if you want to get outside and perhaps see any of our meteor shower that is expected to begin tomorrow evening, which is the Delta Aquarids. So your forecast tomorrow, 66 degrees at 7 a.m. We will get to the middle 80s with an isolated shower or thunderstorm towards the afternoon. This weekend, it's a steamy one. We're in the upper 80s to low 90s. With the humidity, it will feel like the 90s both days, no matter what. As promised, I wanted to talk about the new tropical storm that was formed just before 11 o'clock. We have a new named storm, Tropical Storm Hannah, and we also have Tropical Storm Gonzalo that is out in the eastern Atlantic. A little track of Gonzalo right now has winds sustained of 60 miles per hour, moving to the west at 14 miles per hour, crossing the Lesser Antilles as we head into the weekend, and maybe south of the Dominican Republic and Jamaica as we get towards the early part of next week. What happens after that, we'll have to monitor closely. Then we also have Hannah, which it looks as though my tropical map has frozen here in the Gulf of Mexico. It is expected to move into the Texas area and not have any impact on us here in the Miami Valley. 5-day forecast, you can see temperatures are going to be quite warm into the upcoming weekend. Plenty of sunshine. Some scattered thunderstorms return on Monday. An isolated chance Tuesday. Highs into the middle 80s, seasonable for us on Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, meteorologist Kirstie Zontini is up with you at 4:25, and she will give you an update on the tropics.
The Columbus Zoo found a red panda that went missing from her habitat yesterday. The zoo posted these pictures of Cora on Facebook and said 2 guests noticed her near the rhino exhibit. When the zoo team got there, they said she climbed high into a tree and would not come down even for her cubs. As a result, the zoo had to tranquilize her to get her down. Veterinarians checked out Cora and said she is healthy and will be okay.
She asked this morning, Mom, do I have football practice tonight? And I said, no, son, not tonight.
It's a big blow for some young Miami Valley athletes as their football league canceled the season.